Hey, I'm Alex Lam. Imagine this situation. There's a dying man and you're about to resuscitate him, but as you take off his shirt, you see tattooed across his chest in big bold letters, "Do not resuscitate," and the word "not" is underlined and a signature below the final word. What do you do? Do you consider the tattoo a real legal warning or just some sort of dark humor joke? Well, this is exactly what happened to Dr. Gregory Holt at Miami's Jackson Memorial Hospital. In a case report for the New England Journal of Medicine, he explained how they handled the situation along with the countless ethical dilemmas and confusion caused by the man's tattoo. A 70-year-old man was brought into the hospital unconscious, heavily intoxicated with alcohol and dropping blood pressure. The hospital staff quickly discovered the gentleman's tattoo and initially decided to ignore it. But soon the discussion took place. Is the "do not resuscitate" tattoo a legal request? Now, for some of you guys who don't know, in Florida, USA, you can legally request not to be resuscitated by signing a yellow "do not resuscitate" order form 1896. Obviously, the tattoo is completely different. At this point, the discussion in the hospital was getting nowhere. A gentleman is dying and they needed to make a decision. So they got help. They asked some ethic experts for their advice, and the ethics experts said, I quote, "Reasonable to infer that the tattoos express an authentic preference," end quote. An authentic preference. We'll get back to this later. The gentleman did end up dying, but it was because they obtained an official copy of his Florida Department of Health "do not resuscitate" order. So in the end, he got what he wished for. First, before we talk about the ethical dilemma, I just want to say rest in peace to the 70-year-old gentleman. We will never know what he has gone through to have pushed him to have made this decision. And so a friendly reminder, guys, if you're having a bad day and just want to talk to someone, I've put a few links down below. It's anonymous, so you can sort of just spill the beans and let go a bit of stress. Now, I personally use these and it's super awesome. And if you are thinking of suicide, please call the suicide hotline. So let's get back to the story. Now, the doctors that experienced the case say that this story highlights how "do not resuscitate" tattoos can put medical professionals in a very confusing situation. An interesting note is that they said that their report, I quote, "neither supports nor opposes the use of tattoos to express end-of-life wishes," end quote. However, they do say that it's more effective to simply just sign the appropriate forms if this is what the patient fully wants. Which brings us into the discussion side of the video. Now, what I'm about to say could be spot on or just some random scenario I made up in my mind. So please keep an open mind. What I think could have happened is that the 70-year-old gentleman did sign the "do not resuscitate" forms and he went about and did his drinking and whatnot. Arrived at the hospital, but the hospital staff didn't check his DNR request and resuscitate him. Then the 70-year-old gentleman was frustrated. He was probably thinking, man, I went through all that drinking and planning just to get resuscitated. I did not want to get resuscitated. What the hell? So he probably went to get the tattoo, not to use it as a request, but to force the medical staff to check if he has a DNR form. So that's my theory. But who knows, I could be completely wrong. Which brings up an interesting question. If a patient signs a DNR form and the doctor resuscitates him, who's at fault? When it comes to the question if the tattoo can be used as a legal request, this is my personal opinion, but I'm going to say no, because I think when it comes to life, there should be proper procedures. Now, some of you guys might argue, well, if he's going as far as to committing getting a tattoo of the DNR across his chest, then it should be a legal request. Well, this brings us to the next case. Interestingly, this isn't the first case of medical staff finding a DNR tattoo on a patient. In 2012, the Journal of General Internal Medicine reported that a team of doctors were in a similar situation. Upon a physical examination, they discovered a DNR tattoo on a man's chest. In this case, they decided to ignore the tattoo and resuscitate him, which was an excellent call because the guy only got the tattoo because he lost a bet in a game of poker with friends. Now, this topic treads a very fine line. So here's a question for you guys. If you were a doctor, would you accept the DNR tattoo tattoo as a formal request. Why or why not? Let me know in the comments below. So that's the do not resuscitate ethical dilemma. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe if you want to hear more stories. Also, be sure to check out my previous videos. Now, I stream daily on Twitch, so if you guys want to talk to me about stories and histories, come by. I'd love to chat with you guys. I'm Alex Lamb. Peace.